And welcome to Burning Wheel, where we all
Oh
roll dice,
yeah.
fail rolls, and no one knows what's going to happen. On this week, no one knows what's going to happen. So let's do bits real quick. We have quite a couple new ones, and they are all
So harmonious, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
so harmonious. The group
Really
is
in
really
tune with each
uniting
other.
on the central goal, and they're all going to move forward in one direction. Morrine, please set the first direction.
Okay. Do you want all of them or just the new ones?
Let's just do Um, new one.
Okay.
All of them.
All of them. Belief number 1, this wolf business is getting out of hand. I must decide whether the wolf, whatever or whoever it may be, is a threat to the village. Belief number 2. These burns will not prevent me from extinguishing Guchunk's poison on this town. I must find out what else he has tainted. I guess technically that is a new one because it used to say while he lived. Believe number 3. I must protect both Odelia and Lucas from the abbey. But if I must make sacrifices to save my daughter, so it must be.
Okay, perfect. Let's see. Harmony. Sean.
I feel like Ada is very in harmony with all of those decisions.
Uh-huh.
So we'll just go through all of hers, which I believe
Mhm.
are all new actually.
Oh.
Um So there is actually a little harmony here because one belief is I greatly desire the Duchess's reward. I'll devise a way to trap the wolf before deciding what to do with it. So we're still trying to figure out that wolf.
Yep.
And then let's see, not so harmonious. Lucas is still mysterious, but also a child. I will make sure he's under the watchful eye of the Abbey so we can learn more about him.
And then this is where it really breaks down.
Okay.
And let's see, my good, sweet friend Ragaire. Ragaire is attempting to keep me from the sword, and while I despise his attempts, I know that we are friends. He must be convinced to let me have the sword for a time. I'm coming for that sword.
You don't even
It's
have
mine.
the sword.
Yeah, this is setting things up
Okay,
to
okay.
make sure that I acquire it in the end.
Gotcha.
Hmm. Oh yeah, you don't have the sword. You guys have the sheath. Whatever. Okay. Brother Wirt.
I can convince before I have a sword.
Um, the wolf is a nuisance to this town, and we must prevent it from harming its denizens.
Harmony.
Harmony. The Duchess seems to have a wealth of knowledge. I must see how much influence she has in the region. Harmony.
Harmony.
Lucas needs to be brought under the protection of the church, and both children are to be tested with the rites of purity.
Disharmony.
Harmony.
Oh, my sweet babies.
Okay, well,
Okay, Ragaire, bring us some harmony.
First, I heard Lucas caused some trouble. Not as much as Henry, but still trouble. Never liked that kid. Must find the origins of his power before he causes more. Ada loves shiny things, but I better check out the sword before she gets her hands on it. More covertly this time, because I still want her to be my friend. And then finally, this dang elf is still suspicious, and I need to confront them directly to learn their identity and their motives.
Yes. Okay. So seems like there's a clear goal. Everyone's going to work toward that. Speaking of goals, someone's goal is to recover from their moose incident. So we've already done all of that. We just have the time that has elapsed in that case, and I think we've said 11 days, which is enough time to do not very much. So everyone can have like a little task that they want to do and work on. Um, and we can see how that goes. I think Ada, you had one that we had talked about. So if you want to kick it off with yours, unless do you let's wrap up the scene where we ended last time, where you had been before before we do downtime, where you had walked
Okay.
into the other room, because I forgot that we
Mm.
were on the cliffhanger.
Yes. Oh, okay, right. We were on a big cliffhanger. I was like,
Yeah.
what happened? I can't remember. No,
You
no,
had
no,
been
no. I
walked
remember
into
we
the
met a
other
special
room.
someone
Yep.
again. We'll tickle on the nose.
Yes, and you had
Um,
learned that Gucheng has been in a coma for a number of months, but he has finally seeming to have awoke from that coma under the treatment of your good friend
Calthea.
Althea.
Thank goodness she's such
Just
an
rolls off
accomplished
the
healer.
tongue. She is an accomplished healer, apparently. Okay, so I see him. I think he was like starting to stir.
Hmm.
Is he like immediately cognizant? You think?
No,
No. Okay. Okay. I didn't think so. He looks still pretty rough, basically.
don't even think he's conscious. He's just moving, which
Yeah,
is like
more than a
you could
coma
tell he's
patient.
getting up. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. I think Ada is just like in shock for a moment, like looks up at the sky and is like, "Y'all love to play jokes, don't you?" And then turns to Calthea and is like, "Do you know who this man is?"
Uh, I think he's the doctor from a strange land. I don't know. Uh, he was gravely injured last time, those were months ago, and I've been caring for him since. But he's not been doing well until recently, just miraculously, one could say.
Through the power of divine
Through the
intervention,
power
even.
of divine intervention.
Wow, that is truly. I don't want to say miraculous, but it is something special. Um, you should just keep watch over him for the moment, and uh, hopefully he'll get better. Maybe if the gods keep watching over him. I'm gonna go back to my friends. I don't think I can help him, but thanks for thanks for sharing.
Okay, and then you run out into the other room. Who was there
It's
with you? It was
Ragaire and
Ragaire.
Wirt. I think
Yes.
I immediately tell them because I'm a gossip, and I'm like,
Whew,
okay,
thank goodness.
we have bad news. So apparently, Gucheng is not dead, and he's in the other room and is starting to wake up. I don't know what to do with that information exactly, but I just thought everyone should know. I don't think it's in our best interest to keep antagonizing him.
Wirt, do you want to recover with Calthea?
No. Not if he's in this building.
I feel like I'm like scooping
Maybe
you.
it's
I
11
like scoop
days.
up
Yeah.
Wirt and run off to the Abbey or Shea, Beaumont, wherever we want to be, but not with Guchong.
Okay, Ada gets the prescriptions from Calthea and fills out your prescription and grabs the medication and it's like, yeah, so you're just obviously really busy with this guy, so we'll take care of Wirt, and we really appreciate what you're doing.
He just had a really major surgery. I think that he's probably best under my care.
No, it's fine. Ada leaves. Okay.
Ragaire briefly considers carrying Wirt like a sack of potatoes and then is like, wait a second, not a good idea. And then like bridal carries Wirt through the door.
And where are you guys going?
Hmm. Probably the Abbey
Probably the Abbey. I feel like
Okay.
for
Okay.
dropping Wirt off to be
for
cared
to
for.
drop off Wirt, yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Well, we can just fast forward you there. Drop him off. I did have a question though, before we do that 11 days, because I think it might influence Marin. Is anyone going to tell Marin for the 11 days?
Nope.
Um, if Morrine comes to visit Wirt in the abbey. Yes.
Yeah, maybe that is a good way to put it.
I don't think I would think to keep it a secret necessarily. So if I encounter Morrine, I'd probably tell her.
Okay. Well then,
And I'm a homeless elf hanging out at the abbey for now. So.
okay. So then, Marin, I guess, do you go to the abbey? Because then you would learn, I think.
You go to the abbey to check up on your friend Wirt.
Yes. Lucky you.
Wow. All it took was a dice roll. You have a genuine friendship.
You are. I guess we have a little bit to wrap up before we do this 11 days, because you also went home to find Drava and introduce your husband to his new stepchild.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's. Had you encountered Drava yet?
No.
No. You went to go look for him.
I think I'll. Is it night? It was nighttime.
I thought you asked him to watch over.
Yeah, I did, but I
Yeah.
think I'll drop off this child. Say, update my husband on the sitch.
Okay,
And
well, let's see
then-
how that plays out.
Yeah, great.
That's not just as simple
The
as you
extra
made it
child.
sound.
It's really easy.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it is very late at night.
Very
You-
late? How late is very late?
I think it was very late. Because I think you guys got home, but you didn't roll very many successes. So it was
I
pretty
think you're
late.
right. I think
That's
it was
okay.
It was
late.
like
That
3
does
a.m.
sound right.
I think you're correct.
If it's very late, then I'm going to do that in the opposite order. Or,
You're gonna take Lucas to find.
no, I will make Lucas a bed, go to sleep. Everybody will wake up in the morning. I'll talk to Alden, and then I'll find Rava.
Okay.
So basically the same, but not.
Okay. Yes. Well, you can make Lucas a bed, no problem. You put him down. He goes to sleep. He's very tired. You go to sleep. Alton's none the wiser. And then you all wake up as a happy family plus one.
Uh-huh.
You're probably really tired, so I think Alden wakes up before you. Unless you want.
Can I roll like perception to not have that happen?
I think that's almost more of like a health check.
Or
something,
health or
right?
something.
Like,
Yeah,
That's
can
up
I
to you.
roll
Could be
something? I want
fort,
it to
maybe,
be
or-
random-ish.
What
Do you
about
think you're a heavy or a light
strategy?
sleeper?
I think she's a light sleeper.
She's a light sleeper, but she's real tired. So I think maybe fort
Okay.
might make the most sense. Like if you can not fall into a deep sleep.
Okay.
And we'll
I think-
say
It's like, is she actively trying to keep herself awake and falls asleep? Or is she just like, is it random chance, does she wake up?
Just
Again,
gonna
is
say,
that-
sometimes I can set an alarm clock for myself.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
I think really hard about it before I go to sleep. So like, some people can
Sean,
have some modicum of control.
that
I wish I
sounds-
had that power.
I
I
Go
use
ahead.
it infrequently because I know it's so powerful, and I love to sleep.
I guess that's up to you, Marin. Do you think you try to stay, like, not fall asleep? Like, you can doze off and maybe nap a little bit, but you're, like, not going to deep sleep. I think that'd be Ford. You're just sort of trying to get through it.
Mhm.
Or you can just try to stay up all night, which is probably will. Like, you're not even attempting to get any rest. Or you can just see if you can set your weird internal alarm clock like some people have. And that would be a luck.
I like weird internal alarm clock.
Yes.
sweet.
Join us.
Internal alarm clocks for the win.
It definitely has the highest chance of failure, so I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yep. I think that's just one die.
Wait, what do I need? A 6?
No. We'll
50-50
do okay.
like usual.
We'll do 6. We'll do it in thirds. 5 and 6, you
Mhm.
wake up before Alden.
Yeah.
1 and 2, Alden has woken up before you.
Mhm.
And in the middle, you wake up at the same time, but he's like headed out the door.
Okay,
So
great.
you like can intercept him.
Hey!
Okay, great.
My weird internal alarm clock works.
Ding ding
Very
ding ding.
Nice. It's infallible.
You wake up from a dead sleep. It's like mid gasp. You're like, because you realize you've just, in your confused, sleepy state, you've just brought a child that exploded a barn into your house and left him unaccompanied, and you're just like woken from a nightmare. But your
Yep.
house is unexploded.
That's good.
Alden is still sleeping next to you.
Okay, I'll get up and I'll go check on the children's.
Mm-hmm. Lucas is probably just sitting on his bed
Okay. What a
in the dark,
weirdo.
probably.
What a weirdo.
And Cordelia is probably outside of his room, like looking through a crack in the door at him. You come across this scene.
You have great kids.
Mm-hmm.
Only the best.
Like, Mommy, who's this?
Odelia, I found your friend. You know how you were asking for a friend?
Yeah?
This is Lucas.
And then she like throws the door open and like goes pitter pattering into his room. And she's like, just starts bombarding him with questions like,
Great.
"Oh, what's your name? Oh, how old are you? My name's Odelia. What do you like to do?" And then like just blah 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 on and on and on. He's just sort of like slow movements. Like you can tell he's not totally with it at the moment.
Okay, okay. This seemed to be okay.
Well, I mean, he's definitely not okay. Technically, he's in good health.
No, does the situation seem to be okay?
That is the most terrifying answer.
I mean, you can interpret it how you will. Odelia seems to be having a great time, and Lucas is not. You can't determine his emotions without probably a roll.
Yeah, okay.
But I mean, he's not yelling at her, and
Yeah.
she's not biting him.
Is he
so it's probably going well.
Is he responding to her questions?
Sometimes he'll like answer a yes or a no, but she doesn't really give him time to
Okay,
answer.
yeah. I think if she asks like, "What's your name?" and I'll answer her questions as far as I know. But after I don't know a little bit, be like, "Okay,
Mhm.
let's go make breakfast and get her out of there, and then he can come down whenever he wants."
Okay. She like starts to like grab his hand and like drag him. She's like, "Let's go make breakfast." And he's much larger than her, so she can't really pull him. And then so she like lets go, and then she like comes over and she's like, "Why doesn't he want to come make breakfast with us?"
Well, we stayed up really late because he was out and in the cold, and that's why I brought him back. But he'll probably warm up and he'll come down. It'll be okay.
Hey. And she like wait, and then she like runs into her room and she like comes back with like one of her blankets and she like goes into his room and like throws it on him. She's like, "That'll get you warmer." And then she runs around and she's like, "We'll go make breakfast." And then she comes downstairs.
Best child ever. Okay. And then I'll work on breakfast. And when Alden wakes up, I'll explain the situation to him.
Okay. And what
What
do you
What
make
are
for
you making for
breakfast?
breakfast?
That's what I
We're
was gonna ask.
making some hot water
Mm-hmm.
and some toast.
Go ahead and roll a die of fate.
Uh-huh.
You, in making breakfast, use up the last of the food in the house.
Okay. It's fine. Where are notes? Nowhere.
Note up here. And a note down here in your belly.
No food.
But boy, is there bread at that abbey. They've got a whole
eat so
baker
much.
over there
They've
who
got a
loves to
whole
make
Wombly
this.
baker.
It's not
No,
Wobbly
no,
Baker.
Oh.
Wayne is the baker.
It's
Wayne,
Wayne.
Baker.
Okay.
Would you like some bread?
Okay, great.
Okay, yeah, so you make breakfast, and then you can hear Alden sort of beginning to stir.
Okay, I'll take breakfast and bed up to him.
You can just keep him in that room forever, and he'll never learn
Yeah.
that Lucas lives here. Yeah. You come into the room, and he's like sitting up, and he's like, Morrine, were you here? You weren't here when I went to...
No, we
When
got
did you
back
get back?
really late. Really late. We got waylaid. But that's fine.
By what? Is everyone all right?
By a moose. No.
Hurt? Was it Ada? Oh no.
No, Wirt got kicked in the chest
Oh.
by a moose.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, he got kicked in the chest by a moose because there was a child that needed help. And then there was this mean...
Was the child being attacked by a moose? I thought you
No.
went hunting a wolf. Where did you find a moose?
Where the wolf went, but then the wolf was gone. So I don't know. You know that duchess that people have been talking about? She has a moose. This is the moose.
You fought the Duchess's moose.
No. Wirt smacked it on the bum so that it would go running away.
And it smacked him.
And it smacked him
Back.
back. Yes.
And where does the child fit into this? I didn't know she had a child.
No, she doesn't have a child. She was trying to take this child against his will. He said that she was the one who killed Tomas. So I don't know what's about that, but that child may or may not be presently staying here just for a little bit. Because he was out in the cold freezing and he did not want to go with the Duchess, so I said, you can come with me and I'll find you a new place to live.
Okay, pause that conversation. How well do you think she is at delivering this news? How good is she at delivering this news?
Medium.
Medium?
The convoluted nature of that retelling suggests that it was not great.
You have
Right,
soothing
yeah.
platitudes?
Yeah.
Okay, I think this might be like a soothing platitude, sort of just like you want to say it softly and nicely and not inflammatory.
Sure.
I
Yep.
don't think it's not gonna be like versus his will, because it's not like you're trying to. Let's make it just an ob. Just an easy ob 3.
Okay. I'm gonna fork in husband wise,
Mhm,
child
running
rearing,
breakfast in bed.
and
Okay, yep.
persuasion.
Okay, yep.
Great. Still questionable. No.
Oh, it's questionable, all right.
Not even any 6s either. That's real
I
disappointing.
know.
Not any 6s either.
Could have done it carefully, patiently, whatever.
Oh, you're right.
I think that he is like he's like, oh wow, you rescued this child? The Duchess was trying to take him? Why? Oh, of course he can stay here. We have to protect him. Does anyone know he's been here? And then you hear like a little, like you feel a little tug at your sleeve,
Mhm.
and you look down and you see Odelia,
Mhm.
and she's like, "Mommy,
Mm.
my friend's doing something weird."
Uh. What is he doing?
He's he's playing with the fire like you said not to, but it's changing colors. And then Alden, at this point, is like, "It's doing what, honey?" He like, Odelia, how about you stay here real quick, and then your mom and I are gonna go check on your friend." And she's like, "Okay," and she like goes and jumps on the bed. And he's like, "No, wait here," and then she like gets under, and he's like, "Now count to 100." And she starts counting, and she immediately is wrong, and she'll never get to 100. And then Alden like looks at you and is like, "Oh, what she's talking?"
I do not know anything about this fire changing colors.
Ooh.
That's a very specific truth.
Very specific truth. Okay. Well, he like, "Well, let's go check it out." And you go down into sort of the living area, and you see um what Odelia was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He's playing with fire, but it's not in the fireplace. It's like the coffee table
Mm,
just has like the entire top of it is just like fire.
perfect. That's
It's
great.
you can like it's not burning though. There's just flames.
Yeah.
And they're like when you walk in, it's like bright purple, and then it like comes like from the inside out, it like changes to green, and it's just going through all of these
Uh-huh.
colors as he's sitting there like just staring at it this close to it.
What?
Fire is very soothing. I don't know if you
Mm.
know.
Wow, that's beautiful, Lucas.
He like whips around and stares at you, and he's like, "Where are we?"
We're at my house. I told you about this yesterday.
"Yeah. Do I live here now?"
Well, that maybe. Do you want to live here?
"Yes."
Okay. I turned to Alden. I was like, "Look, honey, we don't have a choice."
You're being held hostage by a 7-year-old.
And then he before Alden can even like respond, Lucas like stands up, like the fire goes out from the coffee table. It is untouched by the
Perfect.
fire.
Good.
Um, and then he like walks sort of past you toward the kitchen, and then he's like, "I haven't eaten in a while. I thank you for making food." And then he goes in and he eats a lot of it.
Yeah.
But
No problem. I actually
and
need to
then
go
Alden is just sort of standing there next to you.
shopping.
What was his name?
Lucas? Didn't you met him on that carriage on the way up to the Stravitz Manor?
Oh, yes, that child. For some reason, my memory of that is a little
You
fuzzy.
drank a lot.
Hmm. Oh, okay. Well, Lucas, what did you do to the coffee table? And then he like goes into the kitchen. So they're gonna have a conversation. You can either like go in there, or you can go do something else.
I'll just like listen in. That's fine. Actually, no, that's fine. That seems great. I'll go up and stop Odelia from counting.
Hmm. She's like, 12, 37, 400. And she's just saying that. She's like, purple, moose. She's not even saying numbers half the time.
Odelia!
Flips the covers. 100! And
You
then
did it!
I've been practicing.
Wow, it's so good.
Ada's been teaching me. Or Ada's, that one person that works at Ada's Forge has been teaching me.
Ivan?
Yeah, he's really
Hmm.
good with numbers. He says he was with the guy who invented them.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's really
He's
smart.
really good at numbers and nails. That's what I hear.
Whoa. But okay, yeah, you so you got her. Were you taking her somewhere? Or you were just
No, just gonna like hang out and let them have a man-to-man conversation.
hey.
I'm sure that'll go great. Maybe like, I don't know, like after 5 minutes, does anything change?
They haven't come back.
Okay, well I'll go down with Odelia at that point then.
Okay. You come down into the kitchen and like you hear there was some talking, but then like when they hear you, it's quiet when you enter. So you weren't able to. They seem to have been purposefully quiet when you entered,
Hmm.
and they're just Alden's just sitting there. Lucas is currently like eating some of the toast.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to think of a weird way to eat toast, but he just picks it up and bites it and eats it like a normal toast. I couldn't think of a weird way to eat. It's a pretty one method
He
of being
just
eaten
licks
toast.
it.
He has a cat tongue and he just slowly abrades the toast away into crumbs.
That would make it weird.
That would make it weird. Are they in the kitchen or are they in just the like living room area?
Probably in the kitchen.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I'll be like, okay, Odelia and I are down here, so you guys can keep talking if you want, but we're gonna play in the living room.
Okay, perfect. And then you guys can do that. We'll jump over to someone else now while that continues to unfold. So you three went to the Abbey. Let's see. So we'll start. You guys will have this night if you want to do anything like short term, and then we'll have those 11 days. So, or you can do maybe some minor stuff, but you're still sort of out of commission from like.
I practice breathing.
Oh, okay, good.
Use my rehabilitating lungs.
Ragaire and or Ada. Anything you want to do overnight?
Good question. Good question.
Friend bonding type?
Friend bonding time.
Maybe I like knock, 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 and I have the sheath in my hands.
Are you at the? I
As
mean,
an
Anne
olive
goes
branch.
back to her smithy probably after
Oh, you didn't
Wirt's
stay at
sort of
the Abbey.
safely ensconced. Yeah, I mean, she drops off his medication and, says,
There's a lot of nails to make.
I'm
"God be
gonna
with
stay
you."
at the Abbey, but you know what I'll do? Can I slip the sheath into Ada's bag when she's not looking so that when she gets back to the
Yeah. Are you trying to do
blacksmithery?
it stealthy, like unseen, or you're trying to do it inconspicuously? Or you're like, oh, you forgot a medicine. Let me just reach into this bag
I
and
think
bumble around, and then
unseen, like
okay,
when she's dropping off the medicines or something too, like in Wirt's room or something. I'll just sneak it in.
okay. Do you want? Do you care if it is unseen, Ada, or do you not care either way? If you would see this or not see this?
Ooh, that's tough. She's mad at Ragaire, so I think she's kind of cold shouldering him. But she also is like hyper aware of where that sheath is, I think, at all times.
Okay.
So they cancel each other out, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Let's just. I mean, I think she's nominally aware of what Ragaire is doing. Like, she does have an eye on Ragaire, so I don't think she's trying extra hard. But if you want to do like a versus test or something.
Yeah, I was just gonna see if it was worth rolling, like if you were gonna react differently to if you had seen it or not seen it.
Oh, would she react differently? Probably not.
Okay.
She probably would
Um,
not say anything either way.
But
Okay.
I'm
Well,
trying so hard.
I mean,
I guess
go
Ragaire
ahead and
just
make
wants
a.
you to have a pleasant surprise when you go back to the
Go
black.
ahead and just make a. We won't make it a versus. We'll just do it. You can make a Ob. Probably not. I guess this can be for you to decide then. Ob 2 would just get it in there, like, without confronting, but Ada probably knows it's in there. And then Ob 3 would be Ada doesn't know it's in there, it's going to be a surprise.
Okay. And we're saying stealthy is my rule? Okay.
Yes.
How lucky do I feel? Let's go for Ob 3. And can I fork in sword since I know his sheath is a part of a sword?
I don't know. I don't think so. Well, that's a good
She's
request.
gonna take a road back to her smithy.
What
You
about
stab
road
the
wise?
bag with the sheath. I think
What
that
is a
justifies
sheath if
sword.
not the road a sword takes to being sword?
You know, it's been so long since I've done something like that. I felt like I needed to bring it back.
It was a good request. I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Well, then I guess I just gotta be stealthy. Da 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 da. Face Ob 3, let's go. Nope.
6?
You got
Got a
But
that?
6.
I will re-roll the 6. Come on, stealth.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Okay.
Oh.
So that is good because I thought of a really fun consequence as you were rolling.
No,
So,
no.
okay, so you slip it in totally unseen by Ada. So Ada has 0 idea. And then Ada, you said you were going back once you dropped off the medicine and Brother
Yes.
Wirt.
Yeah, she's gonna go back to the smithy.
Okay, and Ragaire staying at the Abbey. Okay, so then
My
Ada.
patient is focusing on breathing, so I feel like I should be on hand.
Get training for meditation. That's a skill.
Okay, we'll come back to that, Ragaire. You're not off the hook, but Ada, you go back to your smithy. Roll, just roll a d6, die fate,
We
just so to
love that.
determine when you exactly.
Hmm.
Okay.
I feel
So
like
I
that
think
should be good.
it should be good, but which is better?
Early or later?
Yeah.
Early is probably better. I'll put
Okay.
that out there.
I think you like get outside and you're like, why is this bag heavier? When I dropped
Finally
off
noticed.
medicine. Yeah.
I thought I was tired, just
You were
tired,
like
but I'm
at a
like,
huff. You
it's
were like,
balanced.
yeah, you were
I
like,
think she gets
Ragaire.
barely in tune with her pack too, like
Yeah.
because she's used to traveling everywhere.
It's also probably like a not a pack that can fit a whole sheath into it. So it's like sideways into it, and you're being poked in the back a little bit after you readjust, and you're like, something's
Oh.
off here. And then you open the bag, and you, of course, see the sheath.
Sheath.
We'll
Yeah,
say you're
it
like
has.
literally right outside the Abbey.
Oh, right outside of the Abbey.
Yeah, we're not like maybe not right outside the door, but like you turn around and you can see the Abbey still.
She does not go back to the Abbey.
Okay.
She's excited and she probably pulls it out and just like holds it for the rest of the walk back to her smithy. I
My
think she
precious.
it's dark, so all she's doing is probably like testing the weight, like checking the inside, the outside, the fittings, feeling how the runes are etched. Like she's using her sense of touch to sort of like really understand it as an object.
And it glows, when
Wh-
it's near the sword,
when
and
it's near the
so
sword.
during the night it does not glow at all.
Okay, yeah, I was like, it's not gonna glow. Don't tease me like that. How dare you? Yeah. But she's happy and she's like, okay, Ragaire, I see you. I didn't see you, but I see you.
I'm not good
and
with words, okay?
she'll hold on to that for a sec.
Okay. And then anything else besides go home? Do you want to make a roll about something about the sheath? Like, are you getting home and starting like?
She will study the sheath during that rest period. I mean, she's well, would she go to sleep? Would she be too excited? She'd be too excited.
Yeah.
It's
She
like
gets
Christmas.
home,
I was gonna make you
lights
make a skill check if you decided that you were going to try to go to
lights some
sleep.
candles immediately, like a lantern, whatever, and she immediately starts recording whatever she can about it. You know, she makes more drawings, diagrams, does like raised rubbings
You
of
have
everything.
a skill. I want you to make a check. Do you have a skill that seems applicable?
So I don't know. That's a good
Might I
question.
suggest sword?
I could put it into. I could do more artifact wise potentially. I
Mhm.
was thinking maybe weaponsmithing, just as like analysis of a part of a weapon,
Mhm.
or
I think
research.
those
But I
would
feel like
tell you
research is
different
usually reading.
things. Ye Yeah. Um, etching might tell you. So, like, etching might tell you about what the runes mean. Weaponsmithing might tell you about the actual weapon itself.
So she's
Artifact wise, yeah.
mainly interested in construction of these things. So she wants to like understand exactly how they're all made. So I think weaponsmithing makes the most sense,
Um,
just as like an analysis tool.
yeah. I think. How many dice do you have in weaponsmithing?
So I'm opening it, so I don't have any,
Oh,
which means I will be
okay.
using perception, which I have 5 dice in.
Okay. But you do have normal smithing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like you could probably use that to
Okay.
study like a weapon, like the techniques that were used to make it. I think weaponsmithing is more specific, so it would have an easier ob, especially since it is a weapon. But I think smithing is still applicable. But the ob might be a little harder, but you're not opening it, so it's probably easier. Because I was gonna make it a harder ob and give you more information, but that would be impossible if you were opening weaponsmithing.
Oh, okay. What are my options happening if I use blacksmithing?
I was gonna say base ob. How do we feel about a 5 for some hefty information?
For hefty information, okay. Well, my blacksmithing is 4.
That's fine.
Okay. Um, hmm. Okay. 5. You know what? I'm willing to go for it. If so, blacksmithing, I would definitely do it carefully. So that's 1 bonus. I think it would be fair to say I could fork in tanner because it's probably made out of leather, the sheath.
It is not.
Fuck. Okay. Could I fork in artifact wise because I'm
Mhm.
generally have a base knowledge, so that's 2 bonuses, and then well that about does it. Could I fork in appraisal?
Could you fork in appraisal? Um, I don't. I want to say no, just because you're not really attempting to like not sell the artifact. Like you don't
No,
have
I'm
to
not
sell it, but
selling
like
it. Okay.
you're not. It's not related to commerce at all, or like
Okay.
trading
Could
it.
I have an advantage because Ragaire gave me
Friendship.
friendship, but also I'd already decoded the runes with
Yeah,
Ragaire's help.
I think that's valid.
Okay, perfect. Sure, let's try. So blacksmithing, I've got carefully plus 2 other bonuses, so that's
Are
gonna
you
be
spending
3.
any Artha?
Am I spending any Artha? So that puts me at 7 into 5. I should spend an Artha.
You should.
I should? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll spend an Artha. I'm game for that. It feels very in the line of Ada. Okay, and a base obstacle of 5. Oh my god.
Now
Okay.
1-6.
Let's spend
1-6.
that fate. Big money, no whammies.
Yeah!
Oh, amazing.
You and
Okay.
Sarah with the clutch rolls. I love it.
Okay, what even was that? A difficult test. I'll take it. I need those.
Okay. So you just are obsessed with this sheath.
I think I stay up all night at least.
Oh, yeah, of course. Probably for like the next 3 days. You don't sleep.
That's fine.
No, but this sheath is exquisitely carved, and it is not leather. It is silver. Like it is a metal sheath, which is not normal because it would not be great to store a metal weapon inside of a metal sheath. Silver is a little soft, but that's still you've never quite heard of that being done unless it was just purely a decorative blade. It is cool to the touch, but it is also winter and it's made of metal. But you like you do some experimenting on it, and like even when you get it indoors, it still feels frigid, and like you end up putting it in fire, and it does not ever become hotter than cool to the touch.
Okay.
It is quite light, a lot lighter than you would expect a solid silver sheath to be. I don't remember if I gave this bit of information to Ragaire, so it might be a repeat. But on your way home, you sort of realize that like it's not like blizzarding, but it's a little bit snowy. But like snow is falling, and then it's like
Diverting. Yes, you did tell us.
diverting.
Slightly.
Yeah. Um. The and you can tell that this you're not entirely sure what exact method was used to make this blade. You can definitively say it is just one piece of metal, like one piece of silver. It was not like put together from multiple pieces, but it does absolutely not look like it was made of any method you have ever seen. It wasn't cast. It wasn't like sculpted from silver. It wasn't like beaten. There's not a blemish on it that implies it was ever hit with uh, another piece of metal.
Okay. Wow. Ada is just fascinated beyond belief. She is, yeah, full out obsessed for as long as it takes to figure it out, or until she reaches, I guess, the final dead end for the moment.
And then the last thing, since you did so well in met the op, the inside of the sheath is just like you maybe it catches a little bit of light as you're like looking at it. Maybe you're heating it in the fire, and you can tell that it's shiny. And you're like, that's a little weird. So you like stick your finger in, and it's just coated in frost. Like the entire inside of the sheath is just coated in frost, and it never
Wow.
melts.
Cool. I love it.
Okay, so you get all of that over the course of that's probably mostly on the first night because you don't sleep and you just are like doing all of these things and like you hit it with a hammer gently at first, but like you can't mark it ever.
Yeah, I think she starts to get a little physical with it
Yep.
after it proves impervious.
Okay, and then we'll put a pin in that one and hop back over to Ragaire. So you're at the
Hi.
Abbey still.
Yep.
Sans sheath,
Sun sheath is true.
but with breathing boy.
Breathing boy is breathing. I feel like correct me if I'm wrong, but Ada tried looking at the library of the Abbey for material about the
I
Sword
think
of
you
Winter's
all
Strike,
did, and
right?
you were all banned from the
I
library.
wasn't there, so
Okay.
I'm the one that's
3
still
of you
allowed.
were banned from the library. You have not been, I guess.
Yeah,
So
Ada did research for the sword in the library and failed.
okay, so but it wasn't like there was no information. It was just that like you didn't find it, kind of a thing.
Yes. There is one place in the Abbey that Ada didn't research where the sheath was actually found.
Oh yeah, let's go. That was my other thought. Let's go visit my fave sassy lady in a coma and her old room.
She is no longer in a coma. I don't know if you remember, but I explained to Wirt that the next night when the moon rose, she got
I
up
did
from the dead
not
and ran
remember.
away into the wilderness.
Oh, she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Lady is not
Yes.
here.
She is dead and gone.
I just so much happened that I could not remember, that I could not process at all.
The
Okay,
good news is her room is unoccupied.
I want to go investigate that scary lady's room.
Okay. So you
I mean, I'm
remember it
assuming
being
Wirt is focused on breathing and does not require immediate attention.
right.
So I'm gonna go snoop in that room.
The room has been not pillaged, pilfered,
Pilfered?
pilfered.
Like
A lot
stolen.
of things were removed from it by you all.
True. Namely me.
Yep.
2 things.
2 very important things.
Yeah.
But there's a number of like other artifacts and like books, but you can't read them because they are not written in ink. They are written in raised bumps on the pages.
Ah, weird. Okie dokie. I mean, do I have any guess of like where to start? I feel like I'll just besides like surveying the room for like anything hidden. That would be my initial.
Yeah. So you could survey the room. You can, like, the books are there. You can make attempts to decipher them. You
Mhm,
can look at the other artifacts that were still around, or you
mhm.
can like look at her more personal belongings.
Yeah, I think I will snatch the Braille books,
Okay.
not try to read them, but
Okay.
be like, somebody somewhere will know how to read this. Um, and so throw that in the pack.
Okay.
And then I feel like her personal belongings are what I want to snoop into. So, like the other artifacts, I'm assuming I can just be like, that's not a sword, that's not a sword.
No swords on those
No swords
artifacts.
here, obviously unimportant.
Yep.
What I need is a sword. So I want to find, I guess, see if she's like hidden something under the bed or like her nightstand has something personal in it or whatever that would look like.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll. Do you have a skill you want to roll? I would say
Quest-
perception would work, but there might be something more specific.
uh,
Um,
questionable. Um, 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 um.
if
Okay.
not anything more
No,
specific, then we'll
not
do.
anything more specific. Unless I did Air of Gates and I asked, what's in this room? I go
What is
back
the
Always
outside.
an
door of
option.
this
I
room?
go back outside and I go, what's in this room? Um,
You
hmm,
actually do that, or are you just gonna
no,
search with your eyes?
no.
Okay.
I'll search with my eyes for now.
Okay. We'll make it an maybe like an ob 3 perception.
Okay. And I'm gonna do it carefully.
Okay.
Mhm.
But that's a lot of 6s.
Do I get more information if I roll those 6s?
Sure, why not?
Cool, 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 cool. Just spend it on my fate. Let's do it.
It's cheap.
Fate is cheap. Come on, more information from my scared
Morrine has
lady.
freaking 16.
Nope.
It has 6.
Morrine is just too good at what she does.
Okay. So you find a letter
Wonderful.
that
Not written in
is
Braille.
both written in ink, and then it looks like it has been, like, between the lines of ink, there are lines of Braille. So it looks like at some point it was Rosetta Stoned,
Mm-hmm.
that you would be able to use to read Braille at some point if you were so inclined to try to read
Perfect.
Braille.
I have the key.
You have the key. But this letter is not. They don't identify themselves as they wrote it, but they say, "This. I fear for the safety of this artifact. The sword has already been taken, and I know she's going to come for the sheath. You're the only person I can think of that will keep it safe."
Rigger's like, crap, just gave the sheath. That's it. Either you're the only person I can think to keep it safe. It was short and sweet.
hmm And that was hidden, like, under her mattress.
Okay. Got it. So it was like secret. I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna be like, Wirt.
Yes. Come in.
So I was thinking that you might need a project while you're, getting on the up and up. And I found these books in that scary sleepy lady bedroom, and I have look here. There's a letter that's both in these mystery bumps and in writing. So you think you could help me translate these books? Okay, thanks. Bye.
Like the whole books,
like
or just like learn
Uh,
She
Braille
had.
for you?
You took a couple. She has hundreds of books in her room.
okay, I took what looked like the most recent one. So like the least dusty and like the ink is the brightest kind of, or the bumps are the
Bumps are
bumpiest.
the bumpiest.
The most tactile of books.
I did do this carefully. So um no, so I'll be like, no, I think okay, Ragaire will be like, so I was trying to make Ada happy and I kind of gave the sheath to Ada because she was mad at me for not wanting her to get the sword first. And then I found this letter and it says that the sword is really dangerous and the sheath maybe is kind of powerful too, and maybe we shouldn't have given it to Ada.
That is not what that letter says.
So
It's history.
so I just want to find if she mentions artifact, like she says in the letter there's the word artifact, right? Like I'll give you this artifact so that, or she has the artifact and it's more dangerous. So I just like highlight keywords from the letter and see if Wirt and I can kind of see if we can find mention of that in the newest of her journals. And then from there we could like focus on maybe figuring out what they say. Or does Wirt know somebody else who reads Braille? Either of this. Either of
Sounds
those
like a
things.
circles test.
I think
Sounds
isn't
like
Willow
circles.
blind?
She is. She's also comatose.
Yeah, well.
But
How
I
about you
don't know.
go wake her up? That's not been a problem
Did
for you
you
ever.
learn Braille to like write letters to your sister, or
I
no?
think that is entirely possible that Wirt knows Braille. Blindness is a thing that is revered in his religion. There's a symbolic, like, you've lost your sight and so you've gained this sight of
I think that's true, but I think only women
supernatural.
are allowed to learn it.
Okay. Allowed to, or typically do? Because I would imagine that there are men in the church who interact with the blind women of the church.
Yeah,
That sounds like a religion-wise.
that does sound like a religion-wise.
Perhaps doctrine?
Or maybe a
Do
doctrine.
you have religion-wise?
I do.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you
Because
roll
why does
religion
let
wise,
you
you get to
decide?
determine.
Why
Yeah,
does let you
you get to
decide?
decide what the right answer is.
But I
If
And
think
you
then if
succeed.
you fail, Loki gets to decide.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I guess that's religion-wise then. And then can I fork in doctrine?
Can you fork into wises?
Yeah, you can work into any skill.
Okay. Wises, they're not special in any way. I thought
I
there
mean,
was
they're
some
special
rule
in
about
their
them.
own unique way.
I mean,
but
road wise is special, but nobody
as far
wants
as
to
I'm
see
aware,
it.
you can fork into wises. Let
Okay.
me double
Yeah.
check.
You can fork that into that. We'll say an ob. Call it like a nice ob. Ob 2 means that it's not forbidden for men to learn Braille. Ob 3 means it's not forbidden and you know Braille.
Is that how rolling wises works? I don't know. It sounds.
So they have. So like Ob 1 is things related to common knowledge of the subject. Ob 2 is an interesting fact. Ob 3 is details. Ob 4 is uncommon knowledge. So I mean, you're definitely in the details to uncommon knowledge, probably. I would say details. So yeah, you're somewhere around Ob 3 probably for your wise test.
Rolling wise is you basically say this is what I want to be true, and then based on whatever the obs are, Logan sets that, and then if you succeed, it is true.
I guess. What do you want to be true? I sort of put the words in your mouth.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I want it to be true that communication between the blind women of the church is common, and oftentimes they will have a scribe or a assistant or somebody to help them write letters and do things and go about their business. So it might not be me who knows how to read Braille, but probably somebody at the abbey would.
Okay. Op 2.
Up to. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and spend a persona on this, because why not?
It's
Might
what
as
all the
well.
cool kids are doing these days.
Yeah, I got 4 of them to burn, so
Like, might
might as well spend it on a wise, I guess.
Not that time when you tried to slap a moose.
That wasn't important, Sean.
But
You did
how?
so good. I'm so proud of you.
The letters just combust once I hand them to you.
The
Demon shit throws it away.
Braille is the most sacred and feminine of arts, and it is forbidden for men to learn. You, however, know of only one other person in the Abbey who knows Braille. On the down low. This is a very shameful secret. And it is your good rival, Brother Wayne.
Sure. Yeah. That guy.
That guy.
He's a bread baker, Braille baker. He bakes his bread in Braille.
Bring that
That's
Braille
how
boy.
he studies secretly. Is he bakes Braille symbols into the bread and then people eat it so
Gets
that
rid of the
destroys the
evidence.
evidence.
Yeah.
Never mind the loaf of bread with the neatly arranged sesame seeds in rows.
He does
that
it
can
on
be
the
felt.
bottom.
Yeah.
Come on, he's not
it's,
that
it's
dumb.
cornmeal. It's cornmeal.
Or he does it
okay.
in the flour before it goes into the bread. Come on. Don't think
Non-Braille
Wayne-
readers wouldn't
Just because
understand.
Brother Wayne sounds like he sounds doesn't mean he's a complete idiot.
I'm not saying he's an idiot. I'm just saying what an odd crime to try to get away with.
You don't know his life. That's all
I
I'm gonna
don't.
say.
I really don't. Okay, so Ragaire, I got nothing for this. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe if like I really put my brain to it and sussed out the information, I could learn, like, crack the code of Braille based on this letter and Rosetta Stone my way through these books.
You'll burn in hell for the rest of your existence, though.
Oh yeah. It's fine.
Hell doesn't exist. It's fine.
The sacrilege that has occurred is
Your religion's made up. I don't understand.
look,
But I
we've
get it.
already
It's your culture.
desecrated incredibly priceless artifact of
That's
religion.
true. I did do
Killed the
that.
woman who was tasked with guarding it.
Wasn't
Not
me.
I am not a murderer.
Yeah, I'm not a murderer either.
You're a manslaughterer.
A woman slaughterer.
He's,
You
for all
might
intents and
be-
purposes, not dead anymore.
You might be able to convince Brother Wayne to help you.
Which
But
one was Brother Wayne?
He
Hello.
talks like he's Squidward.
Oh, yes. He was
Yes.
delightful. Okay.
I think it would be best if he did not know that I sent you his way. I think
Okay.
you are already going to be at somewhat of a disadvantage
Don't mention
because
you.
you're associated with me.
Got it.
But
Cool. Go back to breathing. I got this.
you got
can't
this.
open the skill cryptography, and I would argue that Braille is almost like a secret cipher for to you guys at this
100%.
moment.
Okay, well then what's the but what's that look like? Tell me how hard that would be and let me
I mean,
think
Logan
about
would have to decide how hard it is.
It can't be that hard. We have a Rosetta Stone, right? Like,
You could have an advantage for that, I feel
and
like.
we have 11 days. You know, I could make it part of my 11-day test, link
Or
test
you
or
could
something.
talk to Brother Wayne.
Or I could talk to Brother Wayne.
Wayne. Oh my
Too many
god,
W-
get
too
it
many
right.
W
I'm
names.
nothing like Brother Wirt.
You're so different. I don't know why I confused you guys.
I don't think it will be all that hard to, like, it's just going to be slow, but, like, you can pretty easily decipher it. I think that'll just be, like, an up 2 to be able to decipher text. But that is not actually deciphering the text, it's just you're now able to do it. But it is a lot of books, and you can do it pretty slowly.
Can I make that like linked tests that I do over the 11 days then? Like break the code.
Yeah, I mean,
Find
successes
the-
over the
find-
ob will
Okay.
help with that. It'll make you more your little workflow is better.
Okay. Well, sure. Let me at least start before I find Brother Wayne. At least open cryptography
Ob to
and
cryptography.
up to that cryptography. Let's see. What am I? Perception.
I'm sure this will come in handy later too. Don't worry. You're definitely going to open that skill.
Okay. Perception. Great. Make sure that is yes. Okay. The numbers look right. Help and advantages. Can I use a fate? We decided we can use fate to open a skill?
Yeah.
Just burn that fate. What fate will I have left? None. And you said opt
I
to?
mean, Wirt's helping, isn't he?
I don't. Is Wirt helping?
It might be
Help with us
sacrilege.
at this point.
If she fails, you share in the consequences.
I know.
You hear me, you see me like go to the library with the braille books and like sit down to like read them. I'll just cancel my roll while you think about that.
Can Wirt
Do you love me?
help
Do you love
by
me?
giving the advice of, hey, don't do that in the library.
Be a
Go
little bit
somewhere else
sneaky.
that is more discreet. Because
Yep.
you are not a human woman.
You can, but you're
Good
still going to
pray
share in
over
the
her.
consequences if she fails.
This is the price of help. You don't have to, though.
You don't have to.
Nope, we're not.
I
Okay.
don't feel
No.
I don't
So
feel bad.
You see
Too
Ragaire
many
walk
times.
into the library and you go, Go ahead.
I've already said too much.
Ragaire's
All right.
like shaking Macarenas as he's entering the library, drawing all the attention to himself.
I'm like carrying a stack of books, you know.
Gotta learn some braille in the library.
Do. Um, can I still do this carefully? Am I allowed to do things carefully even if I'm opening or learning a skill?
Yeah, but it
Okay.
takes longer.
That's fine.
Well, the
I'm an elf.
consequences will reflect you spending more time out in the open doing so.
That's fine.
I'm an elf.
I'm an elf. I don't care.
Time means nothing.
Time means nothing to me, so I'm doing that and I'm spending a fate because I'm opening it. And we said ob 2?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Got this. No additional ob. Don't say that to me.
You do got it.
You do got it. It just took 8 dice.
I knew I would need all the help I could get.
Yeah. You like walk in and by chance Papa Womblebigger is leaving the library as you're entering and there's nobody else in it at the moment. And they give you a sort of a wide berth. They remembered that Morrine incident, so they're not keen to have a Ragaire incident. So no one seems to bother you, and they don't
I am
look
mean
closely
mugging.
at what you're doing, and they don't realize that you're committing sacrilege in their library.
Perfect. That's just what I wanted.
Yes.
Great.
But you are able to sort of like create an actual thing where you can like have all the letters in there in braille and you sort of like practice doing it and you get pretty good at it. From like the couple books you took in, you haven't nothing cut out, but you're like able to actually read them and they're just sort of like one of them is like just a holy book that doesn't have any like specific information. She was probably just reading it. But you are now able to research her cryptic books.
I don't have that research skill.
Everyone's favorite skill. We've all failed it so far.
Ragaire's going to become the researcher, and it's just going to be real weird for him because he's not used to it. He's going to be like, when did this become my life? Yeah.
And then, okay, pause there. Brother Wirt, you're breathing.
Mhm.
Anything that you wanted to do before the 11 days start?
Or they start? No.
Okay, great. The 11 days start. So, Ada, you had something I know you wanted to do during the 11 days.
Yes. So I'm going to make a present for my favorite niece, whether
Okay.
I'm related to her in actuality or not. I'm officially her new godmother. So my favorite godchild, I guess. So I'm
Don't let
going.
Lucas hear that.
Well,
I
don't get
presume
me
he's
started.
also on. He's your godchild.
He is. I only headlock my favorites. So he might be getting a gift too. I haven't decided yet, so don't tempt
The
me.
cyanide tablet.
A silver cross that I'm going to tie around his neck and make sure it can never be taken off. Yes, so I'm going to open weaponsmithing and I'm going to forge her a dagger for her birthday. So I can have a lovely birthday gift for her. That is 1 for a knife, which I'm holding
Okay.
equivalent to a dagger in this case.
So we'll do the ob and then decide how many dice you're rolling, but don't roll them.
Don't roll
So get all the way to where you're gonna hit confirm roll.
them. Okay, so I'm going to do it carefully to get
Mhm.
one advantage from that. And I think I had all those extra successes from when I mended my hammer. I wanted to use those to be like I practiced doing stuff on my hammer so that I would then be ready to do it on her dagger. Could I have an advantage from that previous practice?
Sure. Why not?
Okay, cool. And then because I am mathematically minded, I get a +1 to any skill that utilizes mathematics or measurements. And guess what? I'm definitely measuring this dagger to make sure the designs are perfect.
Mhm.
So, because it has to be the best for my favorite girl in the world. That is a total bonus of 3.
Don't roll it.
Okay, I'm not. I'm
Okay.
not gonna. I don't have any art. I need to. So ob 1.
It'll be ob 2 after you double it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, ob 1, and then I'm not gonna roll because I think it rolls once I hit submit.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else? What are you doing during the 11 days? That's enough time to like do one roll on something, like one project that you have that will take a roll.
One project. So many projects, though.
I want to talk to
Hmm.
Alden and have an actual talk about how we've been fighting and we should stop fighting.
Okay. Okay. Let's call that a setup. Like you are being like extra nice to him for these 11 days. You're like going out of your way to like
Yeah,
not
sure.
antagonize him. Like drama comes around one day and you're like, get out. And you like make sure nothing is out of place or like amiss in your life or your child's life or your other child's
Except for
life.
Lucas.
Yeah.
You try and contain Lucas.
Yeah.
So let's call that like a big setup for then
Okay.
at the end of the 11 days because I want to. That sounds like something that'd be fun to like play out rather
Yeah,
than have it
okay.
happen off camera. So probably like a soothing platitudes makes the most sense to me.
Or husband-wise.
A husband, I think you could work that unless you
Yeah,
wanted
I
to roll
mean,
that
it's
primary.
the same, so it doesn't
Okay.
matter.
I didn't know if you needed like tests for one or the other.
Actually, a husband-wise test would be nice, so I'll do that.
Okay. Let's call it. Lucas is not making things easy, so let's call it an ob 3.
Okay.
You mean constantly setting fire to the coffee table
He's
doesn't
only done that
provoke
one
a
time.
soothing household?
He
Okay,
only
yeah,
has done
that's
that one
great.
time.
A fork in.
Mhm.
Soothing platitudes.
Okay.
Persuasion.
Uh-huh. Intimidation.
Etiquette.
Yeah.
And conspicuous, so he notices me doing nice things.
You can do it carefully if you want as well.
Yes, I will do it carefully. That's great. I just really
And you
want
can
to
spend
succeed.
one of your. Oh, you don't have any
No,
persona, do you?
no, I have.
Okay.
That's the one thing I don't have. 3,
What did
you
I say? Up
said?
3? I think
Yeah.
so.
Thank God. Okay.
Nice, nice, nice. Okay. So you do have a fate. And since we are doing this as a setup,
Oh, yeah. Hold on, let me mark that routine test. I have
the
1
successes
6.
over the ob will be
Yes, yes,
advantage
yes,
on
yes,
your,
yes, yes, yes. I
your
do
thing.
want that.
Oh shit, you weren't supposed to roll yet. Everyone ignore this. Yeah, it counts, but everyone pretend you haven't seen it yet.
Wait, linked tests only
Okay,
ever
that's
provide a
fine.
maximum of +1, I think. If it's an actual linked test.
When have we ever followed the rules?
Never.
Okay,
Just saying.
not Sean. Ragaire or Wirt, do you know what you're gonna do for these 11 days?
Wirt would like to read some medical books and some treatises on bodily health, and make sure that he
Why would you ever
understands
do that to
the
yourself?
consequences of chest injuries
Of
of a muscular
mortality?
nature.
Okay.
What kind of long-term effects are there going to be? What can he do to mitigate them? What stretches should he do in the morning to limber
Yeah.
up his chest muscles, etc.?
And what do you want what is your intent, both in and out of character? It sounds like I know what you want to do in character, but like what does Connor want out of this?
Connor wants to find a way to remove the permanent stat penalty that he has, or
You can
mitigate
just
in some way.
advance your stat like normal by making checks.
Well, okay. Are fort checks the best thing to be making as I'm recovering? Probably not.
Probably
So
not.
can I do something to prep myself to better make fort checks in the future? I'm kind like I said, learning the ropes of PT, what he needs to do to recover from this injury to give him advantage on a later fort check to recover.
I'm trying to think about how this would play out. Um,
Could be a linked test to a future fort test. maybe.
yeah. Yes. Okay. Sure. What did you have a skill in mind?
I mean,
I have a couple.
I got
You're learning how
skills
to
for
lift from the knees.
days.
I think surgery makes the most sense to me.
Ooh, I don't have that. I was
Could
thinking more
open it.
like reading, because he's reading books on this administration for going through the library and finding the abbey's medical texts, etc.
I don't think administration makes much sense. Reading might make sense. Does make sense.
Mhm.
Um, research makes sense.
Okay.
Trying to find reading. Let's get a gander at what obs might be, if that is what you want. Um, what? Okay, a book. Reading one book is ob 4 reading. If you want to read it silently, if you want to read the book silently, it's ob 5.
That's true. Back in
What?
the day, they used to read out loud. Yes, that's a true fact. Reading silently is a modern thing for the most part.
But like, I mean, that's ludicrous. I have reading 3.
You can read an
Not a
essay or
very
an
good reader.
article. A whole book.
What a
It's a.
ridiculous skill. Luke, get out of here with your bullshit.
It's difficult for the modern mind to comprehend this, but it's a fact. That's what the reading skill says.
Whatever Luke puts in that book is a fact. Okay,
We
you heard it here,
like
folks.
I would like to petition a new edition of Burning Wheel with more reasonable reading rules. Well, okay.
I feel really
guess
good
I'll-
about myself now.
I mean, you could not read it silently, so that's just opt for it. You can fork in research because it's academic.
I can't fork in
Nobody
research
has
'cause it's
any
being learned.
research.
None of you actually
Research.
have research?
No.
No wonder you all failed.
Well, how would we even have research if you need to pass Ob 5 tests for reading to even get through a book? Like, oh my god.
I'm tracked to Ob 5.
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna roll research as it is being learned, and we'll advance that. Why not?
What is a monograph? I don't know.
I think a monograph is like a 1-page pamphlet. Is it
You can
easier?
ignore these obstacles so that Connor doesn't have an actual stroke.
Is a specialist work of writing or exhibition on a single subject or an aspect of a subject, often by a single author or artist, and usually on a scholarly subject.
Okay, yeah. So if like an
Totally wrong.
obscure would just be a nice Ob 5, and unknown subject would be Ob 6. So we're gonna ignore those, and we'll call it a nice Ob. I think I think it is pretty simple to find deep breathing exercises in a book. So we'll call it Ob 2.
Maybe there are illustrations too.
There are some nice illustrations.
Help my simple brain understand the big fancy words on the parchment.
You found the illuminated manuscript of breathing exercises.
There's snails jousting in the margins, and it's it's exactly what I needed.
Okay, and then so Ob 2, how many dice are you rolling?
4.
Are you getting any extra dice?
You're doing it carefully.
I'll do it carefully, yeah.
Okay.
And patiently as well.
Okay. Are you going to spend a fate?
I mean,
keep in mind you do have a -1.
I understand that, but I'm already not going to succeed this, so no. I'm just going to get the advancement on my research tests
You
and
have
move
to
on with my life.
succeed.
What?
In order to advance, you have to succeed on the things, right? Is that a lie?
Super
No,
sounds
not for
wrong.
learning.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, not for learning.
For some skills, that's true, but those are that's like
Okay.
faith.
Okay.
Very
Okay.
specific stuff.
So get however many dice you're going to roll, and then get up to the point where you hit submit, but don't actually roll. And then Ragaire, what was your idea?
Yes.
What are you doing for these 11 days?
Someone else
Well,
needs to research.
I had other ideas until I found all these bumpy books, and now I gotta keep on the bumpy book train.
Uh-huh.
And I'm a research too, boo.
Okay. You also don't have
learning.
research.
I also don't have research. Here we go.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
I
boy.
spent a lot of time putting together my little cryptography thing. Like I got a little table. My head's in the game, coach.
Are you on a road?
You just gotta put me in
It's
there.
road for knowledge.
Yeah, just put me in, coach. I'm ready.
Call it an Ob 3.
Oh god.
Okay.
Good luck.
I'ma let you finish, but do I get 1 fate, 1 for patiently, 1 for carefully.
Mm-hmm. You set
I
yourself
could-
up to do this, so I think you could have an advantage.
So I can have 1 advantage die.
There is
Maybe I
an
can-
untapped helper somewhere in the kitchen baking some bread.
Would have anyone like some fresh bread?
Would Ragaire do that?
Fresh bread. I mean, fresh bread.
Fresh braille.
Yes, I think I will enlist Brother Wayne because I don't want to get Brother Wirt in trouble, even though his religion's made up. I know that the consequences are not made up. And I like bread. So I'm going to go see if I can enlist Brother Wayne to help me.
It's 51% bread instead of and 49% sawdust. That's why it can still be called bread.
You're just like slightly over the margins.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he's putting Braille in the bread, and I'm gonna try and respond with Braille, and then
He will
and
help you without you having to like roll to persuade him or anything.
okay.
But
Wow,
he's going to call on you in the future for aid himself.
that's okay.
Okay.
I'm okay with
He's
that.
like, it's a lot easier to read Braille when you dust it with flour. It makes the bumps bumpier.
Ah, I should have thought of that.
It's true.
Okay, so he will give you a die as well to help.
Okay. So I'm at like 4, 3 advance. Yes, carefully, Wayne, and my setup, and then 1
And a
Earth.
fate, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so how many die
Based
you?
on 3.
Okay, base off 3, and then don't roll it. Now you all have your dice, so now you can all roll them together, and then we.
Oh my
Well-
gosh, I got 5 versus 3.
Oh my goodness, you got 5
3,
versus
2,
3.
1. Wow! Abby, you did so good. We're all gonna do good. Oh my
You're all
gosh.
gonna do good.
We're all gonna do so good.
Recovers. We're gonna take a break. We'll be back in 10 minutes to see how everyone succeeded. Bye. And we are back. Okay. Everyone's actions goes off without a hitch, except for one. Um, so Abby, you've successfully not caused conflict, and you have corralled Lucas's strange behaviors.
Perfect. I did look it up. Sean's right. So unless we want to change the rules on linked test, I'll refund my fate.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
Sean, you craft a dagger for Odelia. You have some extra successes you can narratively use to spruce it up a bit.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just going to make it super fancy. So, like Damascus blade, intricate hilt, incredibly well crafted. I'm gonna etch her name into sort of the middle of the blade.
And is
Then I
it
think I'll.
sharp, like it's an actual dagger?
Okay, this is no. It's not. It is sharp in the fact that it is pointed on the top, and it does slope to an edge on
So you've
either
made her
side,
a toothpick.
but it is not honed to a fine
Mhm.
edge by any means. So
It
she could
could
probably
be
cut
sharpened
bread.
in the future.
It could be sharpened in the future. Stabbing with it would definitely still hurt someone, but like it is not built to be a killing machine. It is largely decorative at the moment.
Okay.
But yeah, and it's just, super fancy. I don't know. I would say I put in jewels, but I don't have enough money for jewels, so we'll skip that part. And I think I do something intricate with the hilt as well. So
Um, Perfect. And then Ragaire, you were researching.
Yeah.
You were researching the books,
Uh-huh.
the bumpy books.
The bumpy books.
Yeah. So you find um
Namely for the Sword of Wintertide.
mhm. You can tell she has been. You go back into her room and you find that there's like a sort of a pile of books that you can tell that are more recent than the other books. Like they're like in a pile. The other ones are sort of like back in the background. And you sort of look through them, and it seems to be a like treatises on blades, like the history of elven blades, like anything related to this blade at some point. There's quite a lot of information that is not at all pertinent to what this blade is. You can tell you sort of get the vibe that she was doing her own research, and these aren't her books, but she's like borrowing them and she was reading them. Um, you Let's see. Instead of me just telling you things, ask me a question about the blade, and I will answer it for you to some extent, mostly.
I need my things from the flood question.
Yeah. Is it illegal? It is not illegal.
What is it? What
What is-
dangers do you perceive here?
It is made for killing.
It is made for killing. Um okay. Yeah, like what I guess what supernatural really what we want to know about the Blade of Wintertide is like what are the supernatural abilities? Like why it being just a sword is not really the scary part.
Yep. Yes.
So
Okay.
I want to know what makes it like a special sword.
Yeah. So I don't think you get any specifics of this sword specifically, just because I don't think that would be written down in any of these books that she had personally. But you do you can tell that like there's an extensive history of elves sort of like singing while they make blades. It's a pretty rare like type of song, and not most elves can't do it, and it's pretty rare, and it's unusual for this to like have been done on like a human made blade. Like you can't really find any reference of that ever
Yeah.
having happened. But it normally bestows them with a level of magic that is sort of like permanent and ingrained in the sword, it can range wildly, depending on like what the intent of the thing was. But it does seem to suggest that this is a magic blade of some sort. Most of the types of magic have to do with like nature or like the physical stuff. Sometimes it has like cosmologic stuff, but it's not like um
It's not like dread.
yeah. It seems
Um,
to be more along those lines.
so when you say it's not usually done on a human blade, does that lead me to think that this is an unusual case, or it's probably an elven blade to begin with?
Having not seen the blade, I don't know if you can have that answer,
Well, I've
but
seen the sheath.
you have seen the sheath.
Seen the sheath.
The sheath does look elven crafted.
Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm good with that.
Are you satisfied with that answer?
I'm satisfied. I'm
Okay,
satisfied.
perfect. And then you run to Brother Wirt, and you are excited with this information. You shove all of this braille in front of him, and then you run off. And then just when you run off, Papa Womblybigger comes into the library, sees Wirt with all of this braille in front of him, and brother or Papa Womblybigger like is very disappointed in you. He 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 can't even find the words. You can just tell he's just so disappointed and angry, and you can tell he banishes you from the library for the time being, and he is probably not inclined. He's not gonna tell anyone, but you can tell he's not inclined to be an asset, and he might hinder you with your a future Abbey specific task that you're trying to do.
Sure. Why not?
And then the 11 days are up.
Wow, just like that.
Just like that.
Wow.
And let's say the 11 days end on Odelia's birthday.
I was gonna say, I think her birthday technically happens in between those 11 days.
You
but
don't
what
know how
can we
long
do-
weeks are. She can't
That's
count.
true.
You took her word for it. And
That's true.
Morrine was like, her
actually.
birthday's not for 2 weeks.
She got overexcited.
What is time? Okay, perfect.
Okay. So is there a party? Are we all going over?
Odelia's birthday. Do you think
There's
you'd
no
have a party?
food in that house.
Well, yeah, I needed to go grocery shopping over the 11 days for sure.
I would love to go grocery shopping with you.
Okay. Let's flash back to grocery shopping.
Let's
Why don't we flash to that
back.
morning?
Let's flash to that morning. Let's say you've Alden took care of the shopping.
Okay, great.
He's the tax collector. He just was like, don't pay me in money, pay me in food.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to eat it. So you'll still owe your taxes.
Okay.
It's the morning
never
up, but
mind
there's
then.
no food for the party.
Okay. Ada.
Okay. Yes. So, Ada comes over to the house early the morning of Odelia's birthday, and she knocks.
The door almost
to the
immediately
window.
opens and Lucas is there.
Hi, Lucas. How are you
Who are
doing?
you?
You don't remember me?
I think you killed
I
my
meant
dad.
to say. She gets down on one knee in front of him and she says, I meant to say, I'm sorry. I was very scared when I first met you, and I think I might have hurt you a little bit. And I want you to know that I promise I won't do that again, and that I did not mean to, and I am very sorry for what I did that day. Can you forgive me? Will you shake my hand?
No, but I do forgive you. And if you do it again,
Okay,
I won't forgive you.
that's fair. I'll hold you to it. Can I talk to Morrine?
He
Have you
turns
heard
like,
it's someone's special day?
Mom?
Ada cringes.
Abby cringes. Oh, Ada, you showed up so early.
Yeah, it's time to get ready for, that thing that's
Don't have
happening
to. Yep, that. Yep.
today.
We all know.
we should go prep. I think we need to talk too for a second.
Okay. Alden, you good here?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we'll be back.
Okay. Ada grabs your one arm in her arm so you can stroll down the street together. She's talking up a storm. She's like, okay, so I've got Odelia a gift. I know you're going to love it. It's a surprise. Don't worry. It's exactly what you would want for her. It's what I want for her. It's what she wants for herself. And it is exquisite. I was just inspired. Okay. And she's getting a one of a kind memento. I promise. She'll never forget this birthday. Now, what are we thinking? Are we thinking cake, candles,
I mean, cake would be great if we could find sugar, but I think that might be a problem.
You're right. Let's lower our expectations. Okay, we're
Mm.
going for bread.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can borrow some honey from Wirt and we can make it a
Ooh,
sweet bread.
Yep, sounds
Okay,
good.
perfect. So I need you to make a resources roll and I'm going to help you.
Okay, no problem. Let me get you some cash.
No, I want you to buy the food and I'm going to help you buy it.
Okay, I'll get myself some cash.
She
I
gonna
mean,
haggle.
we can just roll resources. We don't have to get
Or I can
cash.
haggle. Yeah, you can just straight up roll resources depending on what the cost is.
I think you guys stroll down to the market to where you would presume to buy some food, and there is nobody selling food at the moment.
Is it too
So you
early?
no,
Oh,
There's no
there's
food.
there's a couple stalls, but they look like they haven't been used in some time.
this is fine. We'll just go to the abbey, get bread from that bread guy, get honey from Wirt, and then that's all we need.
Exactly. And then we can gather Wirt and Ragaire for the party so
Yeah.
we can hang out with Odelia for the day. Sounds perfect.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, let's keep going. So,
Let's
how have
keep-
you been? How's your husband, Alden?
He's fine.
And you have a new little one, I see.
I feel trapped in my own home, but that's okay.
Oh, okay. Yep. So you feel trapped in your own home. That's fair. I mean, do you feel like this is a long-term placement for Lucas?
I don't know, but I think it might have to be.
It might have to be.
He's decided that I think he's adopted us, and I'm afraid about what's gonna happen if I say no.
Well, I mean, he is still a child. You
Uh-huh.
were able to kind of reason with him before. I
Uh-huh.
don't see why you couldn't do that again.
Ada, he sets fire to random things. And it
I
doesn't
think
hurt
it
anything, but it is
mid-stride
concerning.
and then like keeps going and it's like, well, Wirt can do strange things too. That
I've never
some
seen Wirt do anything like this.
yeah. Well, I mean,
Ada, you were not there. He exploded the entire stable.
Okay, but look, Wirt can put out a fire in the blink of an eye.
On his allies' torches.
Mm-hmm.
that's true.
Every other night, you just hear Lucas screaming in his room for like 30 minutes, and then he's quiet.
Perfect.
That
He
happens, yeah.
also has some anger issues.
That's fair.
It is fair.
I say this with love. I don't know if you're the best person to help someone work through anger issues.
Ada, this whole town sucks. Who else is going to do it?
Well, I think, raising a child is a group effort. You need a village. You have a village, but we also have a village within a village, and that village within a village is called an abbey.
Mm.
And
see,
I
Ada,
think...
the major problem I have with this is they're gonna put him through some like purity shit, and he is not gonna pass that.
No, he's not gonna go through any purity shit because they don't have the item for the purity stuff. We already got rid of it. We used it on ourselves, remember?
You don't know that they don't have something like hiding.
I mean, Wirt probably would have told us. I also swore an oath to get another one at a later date, which he wouldn't have made me do if they had something on them.
Probably.
Exactly. I'm just... He's a child that needs careful handling. And I'm worried Odelia, Alden, even you sometimes can be a little volatile. Maybe the Abbey is a more secure and it has a lot of rituals, which I think could be soothing for a child that's gone through a lot of changes recently.
Name one person that would be better at taking care of him than my family in the Abbey.
Ragaire.
They're all crazy.
She's like Papa Wombly bigger.
No, he's
Brother
crazy.
Wayne.
No, he's also crazy.
He starts naming any of the female. What is it?
Wanda.
Wanda.
Wilma's in a great position to take care of him.
No, Wilma's no more. Wanda.
Who's the babysitter one? That one might be okay.
Wendy?
Wolfred.
Wolfred. Wendy. Just pick a W name. I'm sure it's in that Abbey, and I'm sure they would be. All I'm saying is there's a lot of stress happening. Alden's been going through a lot. You've been going through a lot. Odelia's going through a lot. Blue Cause is going through a lot.
Yeah, I think this is good for all of us. It's a shared experience.
Special talents in the Abbey.
We're working on it, Ada.
We're working on it?
Yeah,
we are working on it. We're working on moving him into the alley. I'm glad you agree with me. You're such a good friend. Also, this is side note. We know about gifted people. Like, sorcerers are a thing that exists. Correct. So it's like maybe rare, but not unheard of. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll find someone eventually even better suited than the Abbey. He could be gifted. If you know what I mean.
Ada, I've been living with him for like 12 days. I know what you mean.
Exactly. And I think you also know he is beyond your control. So let's remove him from your house.
See, not to mention the fact that I don't think the Abbey's better, but I think removing him from my house will not go over very well at all.
That's fine. You're still nearby. Odelia's still nearby. You set up play dates. You come to visit. This is a foolproof plan. Anyways, we're still walking. We're walking.
You see, you're walking next to Healthia's hut now on your way to the Abbey.
Well, yeah. Then I remember what my initial conversation was, and I hit really hard, and I start walking her faster. Like, let's get to the Abbey a little more quickly. And then once we're like almost at the Abbey, like 50 feet away, village is like 20 minutes behind us. I'm like, so I also have one other important piece of news that I think you should know. And I need you to take a really big, deep breath while I tell you this. And I'm holding onto her arm very securely. and I'm patting it lightly. Like I've got one arm, it's hooked in, the other arm's kind of like patting her shoulder, and I say, "So, you remember you got those burns, and you were in that fight with Goostrong and everything, and so, um, and I did try to save him, and I wasn't very successful, and so we thought that was kind of the end of it.
Uh-huh.
But I did leave him outside of Calthea's hut."
And he froze to death there.
Yeah, and he was frozen in a certain sense because he was in a coma in Calthea's house. And when we brought Wirt over to get healed by Calthea, he started waking up again. And so...
And you killed him again?
No, he's still in Calthea's house.
Okay.
Being tended to. And I think we need to take a big girl moment and think of the consequences of our actions before we rush off and make some rash decisions. And that's when I push her through the door of the attic. And I close it behind us and I stand in front of it.
And it just so happens that Ragaire was walking right there.
Ragaire!
Morrine! I have to tell you, I feel like such a smart person over these last 11 days. I have learned a whole new language. How are you doing?
What language?
Bumpy language, that's it.
Bumpy and flowery. Of the bready kind.
And I like wave a flowery book in front of your face.
But we need flower.
Opens. The library door opens. Papa Wambly points a sad finger out of it, and then Brother Wirt, head down, walks out.
And I'm like, wait, no!
Horrible, horrible shame.
And I'm like, you need flour? I know a guy. Come with me. And I had to walk you over to Brother Wayne, the best bread maker in town.
Hello, friend.
Hi.
Hey, Brother Wayne.
Brother Wayne.
Hello.
How do you feel about cakes?
They are a wasteful use of flour.
What if this cake was like for the one, though? Like, would it still be a waste?
The one would not indulge in a wasteful use of holy flour.
What about sweet rolls, though? That's still a bread, but it's just sweet.
I'm unfamiliar.
That's great, because I don't need you to be familiar, because I know a recipe. I just need some flour, sawdust, milk, and salt. And yeast.
Only the finest sawdust.
Ah, sure. Come with me. And he takes you to the pantry, and he opens it, and he says, here is our sawdust collection.
Oh, this is some fine vintage grades of
Thank
sawdust.
you.
Is
It's
that
maple.
mahogany?
It's maple, actually.
Maple. Okay, okay.
I like the taste it imparts on the breads.
Right,
Probably
right.
makes it all
That
sweet,
sweet
yeah.
molasses a little bit. A little smoky sometimes, too, depending on how long you bake it.
I don't burn bread.
I never said you did.
Anyway, here is our flour, and he opens the other pantry, and there's like one sack of flour left, and he's like,
Okay.
this is the rest. We had more, but recently someone looks over at Ragaire, used some
clandestine purposes,
Ragaire
apparently.
is getting being blamed for everything these days.
Well, this is
Okay.
this is great. How much flour can we have?
Oh,
I'm
you're
just going to take a
taking-
cup of one and a cup of the other, and we'll make do. How about that? And pick up a
Or-
packet of active dry yeast while I'm here.
Just offer your blessings to the lady.
Of course. Thank you, lady. She makes a little cross sign or whatever with the flower in front of her. Perfect. Okay, we're halfway there. Next stop, Wirt.
Turn around. Word.
Wirt, come back! I didn't
I
mean to get you in
imagine, yeah, he
trouble.
was head down, didn't even know that anybody else was there, and just like trundles up to his room all dejected.
We're gonna come find you.
Yeah, we're gonna come find you. I'm gonna snatch a roll and bring it as a peace offering.
Sawdust. Thank you, Ragaire.
You never know the difference because this is all you've been getting.
Mhm.
Okay.
You
Knock
hear his
knock.
chest clicking before you see him.
Oh, that's nice.
That's that new rib bone that you acquired that's just hanging loose next to your clan.
That's great. I love that.
It's an extra floating rib. Oh my god.
Hi, Wirt. Ragaire brought you a roll.
No, thank you, Ragaire. Hello.
We've all
My
been
love
kicked out of
language
the
is gifts.
library. It's okay.
Oh, I was already banned, so really this isn't even that much of a
Oh, you got
punishment.
double banned?
Double band.
Wow.
Well, it is Odelia's birthday. We want to throw a little special something together. Thinking, making some sweet rolls. I wanted to see if I could borrow a bit of honey off of you.
He stands up and walks over to like a Foot Locker and opens it, and there's just a beehive in there. Pulls out a tray.
He
of
like
combs
taps
and-
it.
Yep.
It comes out into a mug he already has there.
Just a buzzing footlocker.
Guess the beeves are like in winter permanently here, so that's nice.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
We're just
I'm
stealing
not
your food reserves.
gonna comment
Control.
about that. But I will accept the honey. All right, perfect.
There you go.
Everything's exactly how we need it to be. I know y'all are all ready to come and party. The most party of parties.
Yeah.
And nothing could ruin the special day. So, Brother Wirt, as you're in your room, and your beehive,
It's so
You-
weird.
Your attack bees.
you hear from
They are
behind you,
matriarchal.
a soft voice, that says, "Wirt, is that you?" And you turn and you see your sister standing in your doorway. This is the first time she has been up. And like this is before you were on Morrine time, recovery time. So like 6 months.
Yeah, no, yeah, we go over to Willow and we take her hands and sister, hugs and all kinds of delight. How are you feeling, etc.
I'm feeling better. How long has it been, Wirt?
Like checks his watch.
Checks
A
his
minute.
bees.
It's been a minute.
I don't remember. That there was something that I needed to tell you. I keep having these nightmares about about Wilma, and there's this dark figure. There's this small dark figure, and then there's a larger one, and they keep sort of circling me, and I think the larger one's getting closer to me, and I don't know what that means. But I keep seeing you in my nightmares too, and I the worst part was I thought I saw you reading Braille in my dream, and I know that's not true. But I need you to help me. You're not up to anything today, right? I I don't know how much longer will be up until I fall back.
Looks stricken, looking between them. She can make the journey.
No, yeah, Wirt he's all in for the Abbey. This is Willow, and she's lucid for a hot minute, so yeah.
He seems better, yeah.
Wirt will offer if you want to bring the party here. Great. But otherwise, I will come and bring the birthday girl a present later.
I think that's a great idea, Wirt. We can get Lucas comfortable with the Abbey, and Adelia can visit, which will probably put everyone in the Abbey at ease.
So I wanted to know how Odelia and Lucas are getting on after the 11 days.
Lucas has become very, very protective of Odelia. And Odelia loves having a best friend. They have yet to sword fight or to knife fight.
Protective
That's
how?
good.
He growls when people get close to her,
Of course.
including Morrine and Alden.
Perfect.
You truly are held hostage by this job.
Correct.
It's not like a conscious growl. Like, he's not growling at you. He's just doing like a low, unconscious growl. Like he's uncomfortable that you're getting close to her. I don't know if that made it better or worse.
No.
Still
You keep
bad.
asking questions and I just keep giving you answers and you're just presenting me opportunities to make it worse. But yeah, he hasn't been bad to her in that regard.
Well, it's
She loves it.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate you're gonna miss the party work, but it will definitely still be happening at Casa de Beaumont. And you're welcome to come by whenever you get free.
Oh, a party? Or
You're
I-
not. No, it's exclusive, Willow. You're not invited.
Denied.
Oh,
I mean, I was
okay.
thinking we could bring +1s if we wanted, but
Not ones that have black blood in them. That's strictly forbidden.
that is true. Is she looking better?
On the days when she's conscious, she looks totally normal.
Okay. As an experienced black blood possessor,
Blood member.
Your experience has been very different than hers.
Yeah.
Oh, really? You say so? Okay. Well, y'all have a good reunion. I'm gonna leave with this, and we're gonna go
Yeah,
make some
Ragaire
sweet
wants to go
rolls.
check out this birthday party / child situation. Terrifying child situation.
Dark
Hostage
figure circling you
situation.
sounds bad. Good luck. Figure that out.
We're gonna do our best.
Don't slap any moose, please. Willow, tell your brother not to slap any moose again.
And I start pulling 8 away. I'm like, thanks for the flower, bye!
Okay. Then you guys exit, and so you're left with Willow. She's that was the longest she had gone before, sort of waking up. But she looks better than she did previous times she woke up. Because previous times she didn't seem to have any recollection of having been unconscious, but this time she does seem to have that.
Okay.
So you're not quite sure what has changed, but okay. What was she saying? Oh yeah, she was telling you about this nightmare, and then she was like a party, and then they all left.
Yeah, so right back to that nightmare business. Tell me more, dear sister. There's so much you need to be informed of. Oh my.
Well, there's me, and I'm running, but I can't feel like I can get away from them, and there's this small dark figure that I described. I think they're a child. I'm not sure, but I don't know, they don't seem malicious, but I'll stumble and they'll laugh at me, and they just seem to pursue me. But the whole time, there's this larger figure just sort of circling us, getting closer, and I can't tell what they want from me. But I just from the look in their eye, I know they want something from me. I don't know if it's, I guess, me or the abbey or what, but
Can you tell me more about this larger figure? Is it
Does it
just
have 8
a person
breasts?
shape? Yes.
it's
Does it have
it's a
a
larger
hippo head?
person. I think it's no, not distinctly not a hippo head. What's a hippo?
You're familiar with them.
No 8 breasts. Um, no,
Is
I
it
can
perhaps a
tell.
moose companion?
No, I can tell it's a woman. Um,
Hmm.
but I can't tell much more. Their face is not. It doesn't. They just look at me hungrily, and I can't get much more other than they seem to be.
Is there a degree of pouting to the face?
I,
Is
I
she
can't.
is
The
she
only emotion I can get is hunger. Pouting
Hmm.
is not easily conveyed by dark figures in nightmares.
Okay. Okay, just any information we can get is good information.
You know who these people might be? Do you think they're real people?
Well, sister, you've always had the gift.
I know, but I don't. I don't
I
recognize these people.
Well, that does not make them any less real.
What are you not telling me, Wirt?
So, I have been keeping an eye on a pair of children in town. One of them has a birthday today,
Hmm.
and the other is gifted.
Oh,
Um, I believe the girl, Odelia,
birthday
is the
girl.
one,
Okay.
and brother Wayne believes Lucas is the one.
Lucas being this other gifted child. Why would Brother Wayne think a gifted child is the one?
Lord knows what goes on in that fool's head. But I made a deal with him. I would see to it that both of the children are protected, and that
If you think
one-armed
that this
woman that you've
one
met.
is the one, well, then why don't we just go retrieve her and put her through the rites of purity? If you do honestly think she is the one.
Yes, well, they're unfortunately the same sickness that Gregor, I believe, um, succumbed to.
Gregor? Gregor.
The other guy who worked at
Joff.
the church, Joff.
Joff.
No, Joff. No, I thought Joff was somebody else.
No,
No,
Joff
Joff.
died.
Joff. His notes are dead. Abbey keeper.
Oh, there you go, Joff. Joff. Um, he died.
Hmm.
And
Well, he never really fit in here anyway with the, not a W
yes,
name.
Southern folk. Eh, Uh, I'm afraid that one of the sisters has died of similar circumstances as well. And she was then risen and
Hmm.
ran off into the woods. And I think that this would preclude us from being able to perform the rites as we would prefer.
Okay, well then what are you proposing? We go test this child in another manner?
I don't have a solution for that yet. I've been praying on it. And the only response that I have gotten is that I must have faith. I think that I am simply to trust that Odelia is the one, and that this process will work itself out, and that things shall come to pass. All I can do is be nearby and shepherd her through the process when such time as it is revealed. But certainly the wishes of her mother are not in line with the wishes of the church. And if Our Lady has in fact chosen Odelia,
Hmm.
then Our Lady will see to it that her will be done.
Yeah, I mean, that is true, though in the past sometimes they have needed some convincing, and if this truly is the one, then I don't know why her mother would stand between her letting her child ascend to godhood. That doesn't make any sense. Have you spoken to this woman? Who is she?
Morrine, the one-armed woman you just met.
Hmm. Well,
You just got barred from going to a party by.
Lady who uninvited
if
you
it,
from a party.
She is particularly hostile to the church.
I've done her no wrong. She has no reason to be hostile with me.
Yes, and this is how I feel as well, but she is not a particularly rational woman.
I would like to meet this Odelia. How would you feel about going to a party?
I would very much like for you to meet Odelia as well. But my utmost concern at the moment is seeing to it that you are taken care of and that your needs
Sir,
are met.
I have 1 or 2 days every month or so. I have not been out of this abbey in years. And now you say you have this one, and they're at a party, no less. We're going to that party.
Cheers, sister. And we walk out the front door.
I knew I liked Willow. She's a party girl through and through.
She's like, this is my one time to party it up.
Okay, and then you three are on your way back to the party. Nothing can ruin this perfect day. No distractions. Nothing.
Everything will go
I'm
according to
focused.
plan.
You are focused. Where's the sheath?
The sheath?
Hmm.
Where is it? Definitely on me.
Okay.
And I will say thank you to Ragaire for letting me see the sheath. I appreciate that. I appreciate your trust. I've gained a lot of valuable information from it.
I'm just, it's not that I don't want you to learn from artifacts. I'm just nervous that they're dangerous and we gotta be careful. But I'll trust you. I'll be more trustworthy of you from now on.
Thank you, Ragaire. I have no intent to hoard these artifacts. I just simply want to be able to give them the full care and respect and attention they deserve. And I felt like you were trying to keep the sword hidden rather than expose its glory into the light.
This
Yes,
is how I see this
G.
conversation playing out. Is like
Yeah.
you had the sheath out, like, and you're like, "Thank you for letting me borrow this," and like Rogaire's like puts a hand on it, like, "No, it was nothing. I just wanted you were friends." And then it starts glowing, and you rip it out of his hand as you like look at it closer as it starts glowing.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I would rip it away anymore.
Like, are you giving it back to me, or are
I'm
you?
not giving it back to you explicitly.
I thought that's what was happening. I was like, Ada's not giving this sheath back to me,
I
Logan.
think I've got a strong grip on it. Let me just put that out there. But yeah, no, I actually don't think I ripped it. I think Ada wants to hold on to it, but she's feeling less protective because she got to do all that research and it was successful. And I guess she didn't even really know the sheath existed, probably. So she's not sure exactly how the sword and the sheath relate and like what that means. So she's still primarily interested in the sword, though. but she does care for the sheath. So yeah. So it starts glowing when we're both touching it.
That's not the trigger,
Oh,
but yes. When it starts glowing, comma, you are both touching it at that time. Period.
Ragaire, it's glowing. Why is it glowing? She's like looking at the sword and then starts like looking around the entire snowscape.
Nothing can ruin this day except the sword of Wintertide appearing. So we know why it glows. We know it glows when it's close to the sword.
I mean, it has to be really close though, Logan. We talked about like 75 feet. So whatever's causing it to glow, I should be able to.
Yeah. And then you see a moose
Yeah.
pulling a sleigh
There we
come
We hear
around
little
the
clippy
corner.
cloppies.
That was the
You hear
bad
little
one.
clippy
That was the bad
cloppers.
news.
Driven by, you recognize Henry immediately. He looks you all down, doesn't see Wirt, and relaxes.
He sees Wirt like, I don't know, 300 feet behind us going through the doors.
I think
We're not
their
that far
conversation,
behind.
yeah. That it was a little ways. We
We're over a
expect your
hill though.
conversation. Yeah. Yeah, and the Duchess is in her sleigh. She's going the opposite direction of you.
Okay,
As in
so
towards
she's
the Abbey.
And it's now at the point where this road leads only to the Abbey. Like it's a main road, and then like this is a splinter off that goes to the Abbey, and so this is like
there's only one
she's
choice.
going to the Abbey.
Yeah.
I go, Ada. I didn't have time to tell you this, but when I was at the Abbey, I learned a new language. I think I told you that part. But the reason why I learned a new language was to learn more about the Sword of Wintertide. And I don't know much, but I do know that the lady who, you remember when you blew up the the black blood in the fire and we accidentally killed them.
This is a really long
Information.
story, Ragaire. Please get to the point.
Anyway, she had a letter that said that somebody had the artifact in the sword and that it's dangerous and that the sheath is connected to it. And we gotta be careful. We can't let her have both the sheath and the sword. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Who is her?
The Duchess!
You say that right as she's like 10 feet away.
She waves at you from when she sees you.
I like do this thing where I'm like, humans do this. I don't know what it means.
Oh, hello, Duchess.
Yes, great.
Yeah, I think Ada snatches the sheath, like hides it behind her leg with one arm, and then with the other arm she kind of like gives like a bows to the Duchess and doesn't say anything.
Perfect. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, good. We're on the same page.
Anything else
for her
before
to
she
get
gets to you?
further
Okay.
away.
Oh, she's
No.
coming at you.
Yeah, we're just. I
Well,
think we're just gonna pull over
away.
to the road, like give her
Yeah.
a nice little etiquette curtsy, let her
She
pass, and then
stops the
continue.
sleigh.
Carry on. No need to
Just
stop for
stands up
us.
again.
It's like, how
No
am
swords
I?
here, my grace.
How are you all doing? Have you made any progress on that task I've given you?
On the wolf, we're working
Yeah.
on it.
What progress have you made? It's causing quite the stir.
Is it where has there been sightings?
You don't even know if there's been sightings?
Oh,
It
I mean,
doesn't
I've heard
seem
about
like
some
it.
sightings.
So
Just
you
not
do know
this
that
causing
it is
quite a
causing quite
stir.
a stir. You don't think that it's causing a stir? People are seeing it? It's quite terrifying from what I've heard.
Ada does not say anything and is just like beady-eyed looking between the Duchess and then Morrine and then Ragaire and then probably her hand behind her back.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm probably inching towards Ada just for more coverage, but
Go
I'm
ahead
not
and
good at
make
talking to
it
duchesses.
inconspicuous. roll
Sure, I'd love to.
to keep it hidden. Is this a versus check? Probably.
I think it's versus
Yeah.
observation.
I can help you.
Or
Yeah.
perception. Well, I definitely don't have inconspicuous.
I
Oh,
also
actually, I
am.
do.
I'm learning
I'm
it.
a liar.
I'm gonna help
I-
you too.
I do have inconspicuous.
I'm gonna help you.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
I
help
don't
you with conspicuous.
Good cop, bad cop.
That's good. I like
that.
Okay. Yeah, it's 2. I have a 2 in inconspicuous. So
Oh.
we've really got a lot to work with. Do you want me to roll for a slogan?
I rolled for her and set
Oh,
the
you
ob
did.
3.
Ob 3. Okay.
Because a 3 is a failure, right? A 4, 5, and 6 are successes.
If she rolled 3, 3 is a tie.
She has to get a 4, 5, and a 6 on her dice.
Yeah, so 3 successes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. Perfect.
I understand.
Okay, well, I will.
Too many of the same number.
Yep.
You can spend a fate. No, wait, you already have it.
No, I already have it. You know what? Let's just go with it. So I got 2 helps. Base ob 3.
Oh, thank
Hell
God.
yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. So inconspicuous.
That is
She's
good.
actually slid it down the back of her trousers into her pant leg.
She like notices you, but then she keeps getting pulled back to talking to Morrine. She's getting to like this little argument with you about, but what do you mean? The people are getting
Just going in circles
Yeah,
about the wolf.
it's
I
like,
wouldn't
yeah.
call it a stir. I would call it more of a
It's
ruckus. A
causing quite
stir.
the stir.
a s-
I didn't say ruckus. I
No,
said
quite the
stir.
stir seems a lot less intense than it actually is. This is a giant wolf that's eating people, I've heard.
I agree. It's quite scary, but I don't. You haven't made any progress, is what I'm hearing.
No, we have made progress, and I will report to you when we make sufficient progress.
I'm very busy, you see, so I don't have time.
We've
to do
seen
this
you
on my
so
own.
often. I think you're gonna be easy to find.
I
It'll be
have
fine.
a
We'll hunt you
new-
down, and
I
I'll
have
report.
new duties as the
Well,
Duchess.
we have to go to a party. Bye.
There's no party here, my grace. Have fun at the Abbey. Say hi to Wirt for us. The other guy, he brought you wine, I think.
I don't recall.
Okay, well,
Don't worry
just
about
say
it.
hi to everybody for us then. That's fine.
I don't do your bidding.
Okay, don't then. That's fine. I
won't.
don't care. Have a good day.
Successful interaction.
And
Sure sounds like
Henry
socialization if I ever heard it.
lumps off toward the Abbey, and the sheath dims.
Oh, Ada, that was a close one.
Ada
both
looks at
look-
Ragaire.
I feel like we
and then
both
looks
looked at each other.
Morrine.
And she's
Yeah, we're
got
like,
the sword.
she's got the sword. Morrine, she's got the sword. You know what this means.
What does it mean?
Cancel birthday party.
It means we have to get it off of her.
Yeah,
Somehow.
yeah. Go for it.
I
I
mean,
am not
we did not-
sneaky, so you guys can go do that, and I will continue making this sweetbread.
I don't trust you to make sweetbread.
Lucas is like the
How
best
are you
baker
gonna
ever.
need it?
How am I gonna need it?
You can
You
knead
can
with
knead
one
with
hand.
Alden
hand.
can knead.
I'm just
Also,
saying,
I
my
can knead.
KitchenAid does just fine with one hook attachment.
That's a good
Mm.
point.
Sure that we
So
can
just
get
take
Morrine
your
on that
arm off
guy.
and put a hook attachment on.
I think Ragaire is like, "Ooh, I'm in favor of party first, sword finding later," because she's
But apparently she's really busy, so what if she just leaves?
Oh, I don't
I
think
will
she's just
follow
gonna be
her.
leaving. A moose is not very inconspicuous.
I
Just
agree.
saying, there's an ancient artifact over there. Are you gonna
It's
dig
right
for more
there.
information?
Did we see her openly, like, having a sword at her side, or was it
No,
not?
Ada's scared of her.
Okay.
Slightly.
Well,
I
think
feel like it's in the sleigh somewhere. Based on the information we have.
No, I feel like she grabbed it because it seemed like the sword was causing this unusual winter in Hochen. I feel like she picked it up from somewhere.
No, I think she has it. I think that she's like
Oh,
put it is somewhere in the sleigh, not on
oh,
her
I thought you
person.
meant like built into the sleigh or something.
No, I mean she could have built it into the sleigh, but I agree she purposefully has it.
Yes.
As opposed to accidentally, yes.
Yes.
Okay, and then
Unbeknownst to her.
so Brother Wirt, you are walking down the road with your sister,
Mhm.
and you hear the unmistakable noise that you are stricken with terror. Your chest starts hurting out of nowhere as you hear the noise of moose clops.
Moose claps in the snow. No, we're cool, calm, and collected. Heads down. We walking.
Okay. You feel Willow's grip tighten on your arm,
Mhm.
like painfully so.
Yes, I will
Yeah.
say yes. I want to say this quietly so
Mhm.
Willow can hear me,
Mhm.
but not anybody else in the forest.
Mhm.
Sister, I know. I understand.
And she says, "Sorry, Word. I just, I feel that hungry figure."
Trust.
Okay.
Trust, sister.
And then as the Duchess turns around the loop and is looking down at you, we'll call it there for the night, and then you can navigate that situation next time.
Mm.
Why
just
is there
murder her in
always
her sleep,
5,000
right?
things happening?
Yep.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
We have 11 days of downtime, and all the things happen on the 12th day.
Yeah, of course.
That's
Okay,
how
We
all
should have.
good bad lives go.
yeah.
But we have a party to go to. That can't go wrong.
No.
No distractions, nothing wrong on a party day. You're gonna get back. Odelia's still gonna be there. Lucas is not gonna be doing anything weird.
Not at all.
Buchon's not gonna attend the party.
This is all the things that can go wrong. Really terrifying.
Ada is getting that knife to Odelia if it kills her. So far, this is like her magnum opus. She
This
is.
is true.
If it kills Odelia or if it kills Ada. Either way,
Yes.
apparently.
Maybe
Yes.
both, but
Deliver it
definitely
points first.
if it kills Ada.
Perfect. Well, nothing to worry about there. Well, okay, that's Burning Wheel for you. Everything goes according to plan. No hiccups.
Succeed on all tests.
Yes, we're gonna do Artha off. Connor knows how succeeding works. We're gonna do Artha off camera, so you don't see me cry. And then next week we will have our second episode of Things from the Flood, where we can all be creeped out by.
Things just get creepier by the minute.
Yeah.
I'm
At
so
least I give
ready.
you 11 days of creep ramp up
It's
with a
true.
child rather than just bam, here's a dead teenager with rocks on their eyes. So
Bricks.
that bricks, shards
Painted
of
no
brick.
less.
If you don't know what we're talking about. That means you didn't watch our last episode, and we're very disappointed in you. More disappointed than Papa Wombly-Bigger is in Brother Wirt. So go
Yeah.
rectify that.
You missed out on the Surly Leaf, which, is the best
Mm.
place for tea in town.
Best place for
That is
tea
true.
and colored coffee. Go watch that. But that's all for tonight. So join us again in 2 weeks for
Yeah.
a birthday party
Yeah.
that's not going to have any hiccup.
It's gonna be the
Well,
best
maybe
party ever.
hiccups, just no problems.
No problems. Okay.